Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show, y'all. Look here. You can say what you want to say about gang members, right? The gang members are some of the most resourceful individuals in the penitentiary. Now, keep in mind that, when I talk about the stuff that I talk about, I'm not giving any credit and props or anything like that. I'm not doing that at all, right? Because my goal is to make sure that I point out and illustrate through the stories that, the lifestyle that gang members lives is one of manipulation, deceit, and all of that kind of stuff, right? And it does not matter, listen to me, it does not matter who it affects and how it affects them. Period, point blank. The end goal is what's always important. Now, this story is about how this particular gang in the penitentiary, we're just going to call them gangsters though, but I'm not going to tell you the name of the gang or anything like that, right? But how this particular gang, this group of gangsters, were able to run their drug operation unimpeded for years. And no matter what the administration did, they couldn't catch them. This story is about, and again, you'll know how I do. I'm not going to give you the real name. But this story is about this particular captain. His name is Captain Wood. Captain Wood was a solid dude, man. I'm telling you, he was a solid dude. And he would come to work and he'd make his rounds and he'd go around talking to the guys, hollering at them. He knew the handshakes of every organization. And he did that. He broke bread like that out of respect, trying to show respect to the other individuals that he dealt with. You feel what I'm saying? To him, it wasn't always about, I'm on this side and you're on that side. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at all. He respected the boundaries. And he also understood that he had to figure out a way to allow for his officers, the people up under him, to be able to coexist in that 8 and 12 or 16 hours that they had to work in the prison, because prison is a violent place. For real. It's just what it is. So he wanted all the gangs, to always understand that if you have some concerns or some issues, before you do anything crazy, come talk to me. He would always tell them that. And they respected that. And they did that. And for the most part, things were peaceful in that regard. But at this particular prison, I'm telling you, the drugs were readily available. Always available. At any time, day or night. As long as you could pay, you could play. That's what it was. Now look here, let me tell you something. Now, Captain Wood, he was known as a womanizer. Known for it. He liked to mess with those women, right? He had been married and divorced 3 times. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? 3 times. And was paying alimony on the last one. And child support. You feel what I'm saying? Now, I don't know how long he had to pay it. I don't know the circumstances of any of that kind of stuff, because I didn't get deep into that, right? But I do know he was hurting for money. Even at a captain's pay, he was always hurting for money. And that's all it takes for somebody to ease right on in. You see, because one day he was sitting down talking to this particular gangster, and this gangster was going back and forth about, how he could make his life easier and all this and that. And in the past, Captain Wood didn't want to hear none of that. He'd be like, nah, do you, I'm going to do me. You feel what I'm saying? But see, after 3 failed relationships, alimony and child support, and then just starting a new relationship with one of them young things, you understand what I'm saying? Oh man, look here. Now he got to pay to keep up. See, because one thing happens in life, we all get older. And Captain Wood got older. But see, just because you get older, that don't mean you change your ways necessarily. See, Captain Wood, he liked them women. And he had him a young thing this time. And see, them young gals, look here, they want it when they want it, and they want things to go with it. You feel what I'm saying? And they giving it to you like you want it. They expect you to give it to them like they want it. And that ain't just because, it ain't just, the relationship part of, the intimacy part of the relationship. They might want their hair done, their nails done, their car paid off, and all this and that, right? And they gonna let it do what it do now. They gonna let it do what it do. In this particular situation, that's what it was anyway, right? He was messing with somebody that was way too fast for him. But he liked it. He liked to sneak off, you know what I'm saying, during the middle of the work shift and get into the broom closet and do his little thing here and do his little thing there and then get on back to work, right? Like didn't nobody know. What Cam Wood didn't know, though. See, what Cam Wood didn't know. See, gang members play the long game too. See, a lot of people want to talk about how crazy gang members is and they don't understand what's going on, this and that. But when they talk about the gang life, they know what's going on. And they'll play the long game. You know what I'm saying? See, that young thing, she was part of the gang, y'all. She was part of it. She was just following orders. You feel me? I'm telling you now what's real. I know y'all might be like, what? Who would do that? Those that are loyal to the cause. Hey, you got your cause, they got theirs. You feel me? So look here. She was sick on him. Go get him. Everybody knew he liked women. He liked to play that game. And look here, she was thick, just like he liked. Hair always dressed to impress and all that. And that old smell good, on smelling good. Walking down the hallway. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. And he couldn't help himself. He looking. He see it. He approaches her. She bit. See, he think he got game. That old school game. You see, that old school game, walking over there smelling like that aftershave lotion, you know what I'm saying? And all this and that, right? But see, it didn't matter what he said. She was going to roll with it. But see, he think he putting it down. He think he putting it down. So she tries him because that's what she was told to do. She tell him, she said, look, I'm having a hard time working second shift like this. Can you get me on first shift? He said, oh, I could take care of that, but you got to take care of me. And she said, what you want me to do? And he whispered in her ear and tell her a little something, flirting with her a little bit. But, basically he letting her know, look, we can settle that up later. But give me a couple of days. I'm going to switch you around and put you on first shift. We're going to give you a call and let you know what time you need to report to work. And he said, that's going to be for the next 6 months. Is that long enough for you? And she tell him, yeah, appreciate it, Cap. Next couple of days roll by. When she's on her way home from work that second day, they give her a little notice and tell her she's been switched to first shift. She acts all surprised for what? Why they doing this? What's going on? And they tell her, you need to talk to the captain about that. So she plays her role and she goes to talk to the captain, and the captain says, you satisfied, right? And she's like, yeah. Thank you, baby. See, that she threw that out there like that there, right? He smiling. Don't be saying that in front of nobody. Don't be saying it in front of nobody. And she winked at him. I got you, daddy. Then she walk up out of it. She turn around. She starts slanging that thing. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. I'm talking about making that thing pop. You understand? And he watching. Oh, yeah, he like that. He can't even wait till the day comes so he can get hold of that. She look over her shoulder and said, I see you looking. He said, you know I am. You know I am. Then she walk on up out of that, right? Act like she upset. I don't know what they got going on around here, moving people around just when I done got used to being on second shift. Then she gone out the door, smiling to herself, knowing she got him. Soon as she get home, her dude, the gangster, calls her, right? On the cell phone, of course. Ain't nobody calling on the regular phone. It ain't how gangsters do. He called and said, what's up? She said, I got him. I got him right where we want him. So she tells him everything, how everything went down, and he laughing and she laughing, and they say, okay, the next thing you need to do is tell him you need some money. Tell him you need a little help. Things ain't adding up. She don't need his money. She got plenty from her dude. You feel me? She get plenty from her dude. And then, on top of that, he says, tell him that you want to work in the unit where I'm at. And she said, you think we might be pushing it there? And he tell her, he don't know. He think you some kind of lame. You don't know what's going on. He said, we're going to play a sucker to catch a sucker. You understand? And she said, you know I do. You know I do. They get off the phone. She lay down, go to sleep, get up the next day, come to work. She get up there early, you know what I'm saying? She's in the, and they got these little briefings before they go on shift. So they sitting in there and they going through the briefings. You know, the first shift captain, he breaking it down. He's telling them, you know, what gangs they need to be watching and the individuals in the gangs that they need to be watching and all the other things that took place the shift before that they need to be aware of and all this, telling them to be diligent and all these things and give them the pep talk and rouse them up, and then they all break out and then they go to their post and then they working. Now she's walking around the compound, you know what I'm saying? They got her out on the yard, so she walking around the compound making sure that people are following the rules, walking in line, you know what I'm saying? They ain't got nothing in their pocket. Every now and then she'll stop somebody, pat them down, making it look good, you know what I'm saying? And all this and that, right? She knows everybody's watching. Everybody's watching. Inmates and the staff, because she's thick to death. They looking to see what's really going on. What's she doing on first shift? You feel what I'm saying? What's really going on? So she go hard on them. She letting them know, I don't play. I'm not your friend. I'm not any of that. So don't talk to me any kind of way. I'm going to write you up. Don't try me is what she's telling everybody. So then coming down the sidewalk is her dude. She look at him. She tell him, get on the wall. He get on the wall. When he get up on the wall, she patting him down the way she got to pat him down. And when she get down to his pants, she tap him. You know what I'm talking about. Give him that little tap. Let him know, I'm still yours. Then she gone down one leg, gone down the other leg. Then she tell him to turn around and say, I thought I felt something in your pocket. Empty your pocket. He looked to the left. He looked to the right. He see ain't nobody listening. He said, you know what's in my pocket? You know what's in my pocket? And she said, nah, what's in your pocket, Daddy? I said, you in my pocket. And she said, you better believe it. Then she tells him, get on down the sidewalk. Go on your way. We ain't got time for this, right? So then, what happens, everybody watching, right? So now, she playing her role to the fullest where everybody can understand that she the police. She done made her presence known on the yard. Everybody respect it, though. Don't nobody know but her and her dude that she a gangster. Don't nobody know that but her and her dude. Even his brothers, the one that's up under him, don't even know. He been planning this for months. Planning it for months. And this was the time. So now, after a couple of weeks, she done made her presence known. Now everybody on the compound talking about her. Man, look, she might look good, but she ain't straight. She ain't playing. One dude talking about she caught him coming down the sidewalk. He had some bread in his pocket. She popped him, rolled him up for larceny, coming stealing out the kitchen. Another dude talking about she busted him with some hamburger patties. Another one talking about she busted him with some cheese. Another dude talking about she caught him with some tobacco. She knocking everybody's head off. She making her presence known. And people are paying attention. People with authority, people with rank is paying attention. She's doing a great job. She's an asset. She's going to be great for the department. Great. That's what she wanted. She needed everybody to see how good of an officer she was going to be. And she intended to be the best that they've ever seen. So now, her and her dude, they orchestrate some stuff, right? This is the next big move, right? Because they have shakedowns and stuff like that in the units where they come in and they go through the cells and they toss the cells. When I say toss the cells, I mean they go through everything. They read your mail. They looking under the bed, under the mattresses and everything. They're looking for drugs. They're looking for any kind of contraband, pocket knife. They're looking for phones. They're looking for any of those types of things, right? So her dude tell her, look, I need you to shake down a couple of people. These some ops though, by the way. See, I need you to shake down a couple of people, and then they gonna have some phones in there. And then, see, he messed with them, but he didn't mess with them because they was the ops. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of the heads of the gangs, this is one thing you gotta understand too, y'all. A lot of the heads of the gangs, they have these relationships between each other where they keep each other up on what's going on so that they can keep peace. So a lot of times, you know, the heads of the gangs might tell a little bit too much information to each other, right? Not knowing that maybe one day they might get crossed by giving up that information. And that's what the situation is on this situation, right? Gangster, he tell her to hit the cell of one of the ops. No phone in there. He didn't necessarily know where the phone was at, but he knew it was in there, right? And now he told her, when you hit the cell, you got to make sure you're hitting it at a certain time. But see, she didn't control that because she didn't have the rank to decide when to hit a building or not, right? She just had to go when they said go. So when they came into the unit, it was on her to pick the cells that she wanted. They got to hit 4 cells, right? Her and the other dude that's shaking down with her. So she tell him she got the 4 cells in mind. He ride with it because she pretty, looking good. So he like, all right, then we'll do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? He following behind her, right? He just want to see her bending over and all that old kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about now. So anyway, they got the 4 cells, and the one cell that her dude want her to get, she said, we're going to get that one last. We're going to get that one last because what she's trying to do is give them time to believe that they not going to hit that cell. You see what I'm saying? She hit the 2 cells at the bottom. Walk back to the desk. Mark them out of the book. Her and dude turn around, and they looking around. And they see the cell, the one of the cells that she's going to get, the one with the ops in it, they got a violation up on the door. A violation is just something to cover the window so can't nobody see in the cell. The violation is up on the window. So she's like, okay, I ain't going to touch them to last, right? So when she walking up the steps, she winks real fast. Her dude know her, so he caught the move. She winks real fast to let him know they going to get it. Not right now. So she go to the other cell. They toss it. They toss that cell. And now everybody's looking at the clock because usually they're going to get up out of there, you know what I'm saying, in a reasonable amount of time because first she'll finna end. So everybody's thinking they ain't going to hit no more cell. But she waiting. She just buying the time because, see, the thing is, see, the closer they get to leaving, the more arrogant, you know what I'm saying, we get. Oh, they ain't got time, they got to get up out of here, right? And then when you part of a gang and all this and that, right, you looking at it like they know what's up, get on up out of here. Like they supposed to be scared, but she trying to make her presence known. So she walked right to the cell. She knocked on the cell door. What you doing it now? Dude in the cell, the op said, you in the restroom. She said, you been in there quite a long time, hurry up. Shake down. He said, all right. Now she got her ear up against the door. Because her dude done trained and told her, keep your ear up against the door when you tell him that, right? So she listening. She hear him moving around in there. She said, you dressed yet? He said, no, I ain't dressed yet. About that time, she heard some fumbling with one of them. You see, we got these things that we can put stuff in up on our bed. You know, it's like like a box that can hold our stuff, right? So you got to slide it out, and you got a top on it. You take the top off. You can hear that. You can hear that sound. You know when you're taking the top off something, plastic top off something. She heard it pop. Pow. All of a sudden, she cracked the door just a little bit to make sure she wasn't finna violate him if he on the toilet. She don't see him on the toilet because the toilet right by the door. She see him standing up. She pulls the door all the way open and says, step out the cell, sir. He turns and he looks at her and he gives her that frown. You know how a gang member do when you're pissed off about something, you're trying to send that message. He give her that look. Yeah, all right then. Then he mob about the cell. She said, hold up. Stop right there. She said, pat him down before he leaves the cell. So the male officer hit him up real good, real tight. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got nothing on him. So she said, okay, step outside the cell and you stand right there. He's standing right there on the outside of the cell. She go in and they looking around in the cell. She look around first. She's trying to remember all the things that her dude had told her over the phone to look for. Now she's looking for the spot. She ain't touched nothing yet. She's looking. And she got to remember the sounds that she heard before she opened the door. So she looked down and she saw the plastic container that we put all our commissary and stuff like in. She seen it halfway out from under the bed. And she said, I'm going to start right here. You start on that side of the room. So when the officer that was with her started on the other side of the room, he was like, okay. And she said, look, I think it's on this side. We're going to focus on this side. And if you want to know what they found out, you're going to have to tune in to the next episode, right? It's been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace.